Hey everyone, this is Lewie. Just wanted to touch base with you over the State of the Union address that took place last night by Donald Trump. Um, it was an excellent speech. You can't tell me any different. He basically verbally slapped Chuck Schumer, which was great. Verbally slapped Nancy Pelosi, which was even better. And he verbally slapped Bernie Sanders, but he didn't hit him as much. And like I said, it was all verbal. It wasn't physical. He didn't go reach out and just whack him upside the head. He just verbally did it. He pointed out a few things that those people had been up to, and they couldn't do or say anything about it. Chuck Schumer's response was anything but positive, obviously. That's just the way he is. He is trying to indicate that there's something that President Trump has to hide. That's why he mentioned the investigations. Obviously, he missed the entire point of that part of the president's speech. The rebuttal was done by Stacey Abrams. She ran for governor in Georgia after being minority leader in their state house, and she lost by 55,000 votes. And she more or less did nothing more than a campaign speech. Why? I think it's because there's one of two reasons. One, she didn't really have anything that she could say bad about it. Or two, she had no clue what to talk about. Okay, if you have no clue what to talk about, why do it? All right? So, more or less, it was a campaign speech. Now, she did mention a few things that was mentioned in Trump's speech. One of the things she mentioned was the shutdown, but instead of allowing the Democrats to accept the blame that they have concerning the shutdown, she went and laid it at Trump's feet. Anybody with a conscious mind knows that it was the Democrats that kept it shut down. She mentioned a few things, but you know what she did mostly? Woe is me, feel bad for me, you know. In fact, one of the things what she talked about was her father walking home in the rain after giving his coat up on his way home from work because they had one car. You know what? I hate to tell you how many times I've walked home in the rain. I've given my coat up to coworkers because I have to say I'm fortunate the area I live in. There's not many homeless people sitting in the streets. It's it is what it is. Would I? Yeah, I would. And I've walked home. I've walked home. I've ridden my bike home. I've bummed rides home, which I don't understand why he didn't do. But hey, that's neither here nor there. And the last thing I want is for people to feel sorry for me. We in this country, for the most part, have a good life. We don't have the dire poverty that's going on in places like the continent of Africa or, continent of Africa is probably the poorest place I can think of at this moment. I'm sure there's other places. We do have some dire poverty in this nation, and I would love for it to come to an end. But believe it or not, from statistics I've been reading, the most poverty-stricken people in this country are in better shape than most of the poverty-stricken people in Africa. But that's neither here nor there. I get back to the speech. I'm off on a tangent. The thing is, the Democrats really had nothing to come back with because they know, don't let them kid you, they know they're the reason why the government was shut down for so long. They don't want to accept the responsibility. They're being little children. They're acting like little boys and girls. And I do mean little boys and girls. Ooh, I like that. I like that. They're acting like little kids. They don't want to accept responsibility for their actions, so they have to blame somebody else. And yet, this is the political party that a lot of people are rooting for. Makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. Stacey Abrams, go home. Think about where you stand. And next time you have to do a nationally publicized speech, use that instead of the woe is me. Okay? You can't tell me that you were brought up in a religious family if you're a Democrat, because the Democrats are the ones that are pro-abortion. All right? And religious people are anti-abortion, because we all view abortion the same way. Murder. You turn your back on your religious roots, you have to answer for that. You have to answer to God when it's time. I ain't turning my back on my religious roots. I know what's the difference between right and wrong. I know that difference. And I do my best every day to do what's right, even when doing what's wrong is easier. So, with that being said, I'm going to let you go. Y'all have a good day.